Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. This is the textured flower pillow that you see. It is a double-sided idea. There's basically two granny motifs. So there's got one and then the second one, and then it's put together with the pillow in between. Now there's 300 watts of light blasting at this thing, so you really do see the highlight of the foam or of the insert of the pillow. But once you have it in real light, you'll see that it will just dull right down and just be kind of a shadow in behind. So that's a neat thing. So this pattern is one of my designs, and I designed it for an Afghan in 2018, and it never really took off at all. So I thought, what more can I do with that, because I really like my design. So I decided to keep it as a solid color and let the light play with the idea of the shadows. The only difference, and I'm gonna play a tutorial right after the spiel, is that the only difference between that tutorial and this pillow is that you will not do the final round of just a double crochet. So you're gonna stop one early, and you'll notice that in the instructions as well. I wrote that out as well. So once you have both of your faces done, you're just gonna put them together and match up the stitches, and you're just gonna single crochet yourself all the way across, and in the corners you'll put in 3 single crochets as you turn and then continue. So you'll do 3 sides of coming together, insert the pillow form, and just continue to single crochet these shut. And this is a really neat thing. I did this in an evening, so this is one of those projects where I think that you can have some really quick satisfaction, instant gratitude, and it's a really neat design. So this is called the textured flower pillow, and this is one of my designs, and I hope that you enjoy it. And I think this is really quite classy. And now let's put it back into regular light and enjoy. So I'm gonna start that next tutorial for you. Remember that the very final round of that tutorial is not done for this pillow, so that it fits it beautifully, and this is a 12-inch pillow. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the flower in the square. This is my own design, and the purple that you see on the outside is actually not part of this design, but I attached fleece to the back, and I've already run the fleece tutorial, and people want to know how I actually did the square. So it's been out for a couple months, and it was just a fun afternoon being able to design this, and I made it so it's 3-dimensional. So you can see that the flower is literally lifting off of this. So I can't turn it over and show you the back, but the back actually looks very flat. So what I wanted to do is play a little bit with the flower just bowling out. I wanted to play with a little bit of texture, and I really wanted to really do a cool job with this. So what we have is a free pattern. Let me take you to that, and let me tell you what I'm gonna be using for yarn today. So here's the free pattern. If you follow the link in the more information of this video, you'll be able to access this. We used Caron Simply Soft for this, and I used a 5mm size crochet hook and 4 colors that were recommended, just being able to make it kind of fun. Today I'm gonna be using Caron 1-pound yarn, and I'm gonna substitute using a 5.5mm size I crochet hook in order to play. So if you want to change your sizes, just make sure that the hook matches the yarn. So I was inspired by a coaster, and a coaster I accidentally did 7 of these flowers, petals, but in actual fact I wanted 8. So from that I learned some lessons, and then I converted it into an 8, which is a lot easier to be able to manipulate as well. So without further ado, let's grab our crochet hooks. This is about 11 by 11 for inch sizes, and it's kind of fun, and all of the instructions have the colors that were used within the sample, so that you can determine that as well. So without further ado, let's begin. So I'd classify this as an intermediate level pattern, and we're going to start off with a slip knot to begin, and we are going to then chain 4. So let's just chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want you to insert the hook into the beginning chain, and then yarning over and pulling through and through to form the center ring of your square. So I want you to put that straggler like it's part of the ring, so that you can trap it into position. Let's begin round number 1. So we know that there's 8 petals within this, so I figured it out that we're gonna have to divide the circle into a multiple of 8. To begin, we're going to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet here and throughout. And you're going to double crochet right into the center of the ring, go right up over top of that straggler, and get that stuck into position so you never have to worry about it. So this I would classify, it's not a petal, but classify that as 1 petal out of 8. So there's 2 double crochets that do that. You're going to chain 1 and then put 2 more double crochets in a row. So 1 and 2, and so there is another petal if you wanted to look at it from that point of view, and then chain 1 and then another 2 in a row. And you're gonna do that so that you get a total set of 8 of these double crochet doubles. Okay, so there's 1, you got 2 and 3, chain 1 and do another one, and I want to see a total of 8 of those going all the way around. So I'll see at the end of this round. So I'm climbing close to the end and I'm just putting in the last pair of double crochets. If you're running out of space, just move things out of the way. It'll balance out later. So you got one pair there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I just put in 2 double crochets, and to finish this off you're going to chain up 1 and you want to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3, and you're gonna fasten off that color. So the green is completely done. To fasten off, what I'd recommend is, especially if you're doing this as a multiple of a larger blanket, it's better, you can just pull it through, but it's better to use a darning needle and really hide that in. So take the extra few moments it's going to take you and just put it into your darning needle. Just turn it over to the back side and just run it through the back a total of 3 times. So just going in, don't impede the top stitching at all. So 1, and when you pull it, don't reef on it so that it's gonna warp it. So just keep it nice and flexible. So 2 and 3, and this just takes a few moments to do and get that out of the way. Now if you went up over top of your straggler like I was mentioning, then you can just safely cut wherever that's popping out and it's good to go. This is the center of your square. So let's create the next one here. What I want you to do is not create any kind of slip knot to begin. Just form a loop, and you're going to make sure that loop is long enough so that you can use a darning needle to hide it in the loose end after. I want you to find a chain 1 space. It doesn't matter which one it is. So you got 2 double crochets in and then chain 1, 2 double crochets. Find any chain 1 space and pull the loop through. And just let the straggler fall into the behind, and then I want you to use this strand that's going to the yarn ball. So I want you to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I want you to, in the same space, put 3 more double crochets. So this time go right up over top of that straggler to trap it into position, and you're gonna go 1, 2 and 3. So this one with the chain 3 and the 3, that gives you a total of 4. Okay, so it's 4 double crochets. So now what we're going to do is that you're going to jump to the next chain 1 space, so over top of those 2, and put 4 more double crochets in. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and simply just jump to the next chain 1 space and do the same thing. So put in 4 double crochets in each of the chain 1 spaces all the way around. Once you get all the way back around, and you can see that there's 8 sets, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, you're just gonna slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 and then just fasten off, and you can use the technique. Now because I had you do a loop, you're going to want to use this strand and also run it through a darning needle back and forth in order to hide it. So please do that now and we'll continue along. So let's move along to round number 3. We're going to use another one. I'm going to create a slip knot to begin. So sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. I want you to find the space that is existing between the groups of 4. Any space, there's not a chain 1 there, it's just a space, and it can be any one of them. So I'm just going to choose this one because that's what I want to do. So I want to create the foundation work for the flower. So this color should be the color of the flower petal. So the flower petal is actually made up of 2 rounds. Just slip stitch it to start. I want you to chain 2, and then I want you to do 2 together double crochets. So wrap in the hook into the same space, pull through, and you have 3 loops. Just pull through the 2 and hold it, and do it one more time. So wrap in the same space, pull through, and pull through 2 and hold it. You got 3 loops. This is the starting of doing 3 together. Now because you're thinking, okay, well maybe you should have started with chain 3. If you start with chain 3 and then do the other 2 together, it doesn't look right. So I had you start with chain 2. So pull through all 3 loops. Now we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and now going forward I want you to place in 3 double crochet together into the same space. Okay, so just keep on doing it. So wrap and in, pull through 2 and hold it, and keep doing that, and you will now have 4 loops on the hook because it's no longer the starting one. Once you have that satisfied, pull through all 4 loops and you're good to go. So now what you're going to do is that you're going to expand then into the next space. So just look for the next space, it's in the between the 2 groups, and do the same thing. So you're gonna start off with 3 together double crochets. See, we're no longer starting around, so you don't have to start with that chain 2 like you had before. Then once you have your 4 loops, pull through all of them, chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then in the same one again, 3 together, double crochet. And you're gonna do that in each of the spaces that exist between the groups of 4. Okay, so then start up the next one, just jump and put 3 together again. Okay, then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then in the same one again you're going to put in 3 together, double crochet. So please do that all the way around for round number 3. So I'm just coming up to my last one, so I'm putting my 3 together, double crochet, chain 3, 3 together, double crochet into each one of the spaces in between the groups of 4. So you're noticing it's kind of folding up a little bit. It won't stay like that. That's just because this one has a little bit of tension to it. And then once you get that last one done, just slip stitch it to the top of the next one that you started with. Okay, so now we're gonna keep that color. We're gonna make the petals even bigger, and that's what we'll begin to round number 4. So let's begin round number 4. We're in the incorrect area to start. So what we have to do is we have to get to this next chain 3 space. So slip stitch over and just get yourself there. Now what you're going to do is chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and I want you to put 8 more double crochets into that same space. So let's count those out together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So with the chain 3 that you started with, there should be a total of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you get that 9 done, I want you to go into the next chain 3 space, so it's directly in between, and put in 9 again. So I want you to put 9 double crochets in each one of the chain 3 spaces going all the way around. So there should be 8 sets of these going all the way. So I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm just coming all the way around. I got my final 9 in. So once you have your final 9 in, just attach to the first chain 3, and that's it for that color. And you can see that it laid out flat. So it wasn't flat before. This now forces it to be flat again. So let's just finish that off, and then we're gonna begin another color. And another color, this is going to make the flower pop off the square in our next round. So just hide in this loose end now. Use your darning needle or weave it in. Probably darning needle is the best, and you can decide what works best for you as well. So let's continue now to round number 5. So let's begin then round number 5. It's a fun one. So what I want to do is that I want to grab these by the back post of all these petals, and then we're gonna do a long single crochet all the way down into this layer here that you see in the pink. So you're gonna bypass this, this, and this, and go right down in, and this is what forms it to crunch in. So what I want you to do to start is that I want you to attach to a back post only. So just go to the first one and come around to the front post. So come from the back and then just pop it out the back. Just one post only. Leave the extra long strand so that you can hide that in later, and then just slip stitch it now. And you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that's gonna count as your first back post double crochet. Now I want you to back post double crochet each one of these stitches in this petal. So that's pretty easy, right? So you're just gonna go in. So wrap the hook coming from the behind, and then you're gonna go back out. Now lay down the straggler down over top, and that'll help you bury it so that you don't have to use a darning needle later, and then just finish it off as a double crochet. So wrap the hook, go into the next one. So you're gonna see that it's gonna pop out. So you're just gonna come out into the next one, pop it back out to the back, lay down that straggler on top so it gets stuck underneath, and then double crochet as normal. So wrap into the next one from the back, pop it out, and then keep on going. So we're just gonna do back posts. Once you have to do a few stitches of those, you can just get rid of that straggler out of position at this moment, and then it's good to go. You never have to worry about that again. So you're gonna continue then to back post double crochet around each one of these. Now, word of caution is that sometimes when you stick your hook into a back post, sometimes you can accidentally separate fibers. So make sure that you're always separating an entire post and not just a partial. It does happen, and you'll see it in the future if you don't catch it right away. So sometimes I've done stitches like that and I've had a frog because it's so obvious. So I'm doing a back post double crochet in each one of the petals, and then we're gonna do a long single crochet. So each one of the 9 has now a back post double crochet, so even the starting one was a chain 3, so that counts. So there should be 9. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. You're going to do a long single crochet now. So I want you to insert the hook into the middle one of this group down here. So right in between the 2, see how there's 4? Go right in between and separate the 2 and the 3. So right in between, it's not an actual stitch, so go right in between, insert your hook in, come in from behind, pull up the yarn and give it some slack like that, and then just finish it off with a single crochet. Okay, so then you immediately start on the next petals. So back post double crochet. So the more slack that you give, the looser it will be. So if you pull it too tight, it'll buckle in on you. So you want to be a little bit conscientious of that. So we're gonna back post double crochet the next 9. Once you have all 9 done, then you're just gonna come down again and look to this pink level that you see. Insert the hook in between the second and the third one, pull up, do about the same slack so it's even, and single crochet. So please do that all the way around for round number 5. So I'm coming up all the way around. So you remember that we started on the first post here in the first flower. So when you finish, make sure that you do come down and do a long single crochet, and that is your final stitch. Like that. Then you can just crochet, or sorry, just slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 that you started with. So now you're done with this color, so we're gonna fasten off. So please fasten off. You will notice down your petals just folded up on you to give you that 3-dimensional look. This is what it looks like on the back side, so that's what you would have seen if there was no fleece. So without further ado, let's move along to round number 6. So let's begin round number 6. Of all the rounds, I think this is maybe the hardest one. So let's can just go nice and easy. So we're gonna start off with the slip knot. I want you to pick any of these long single crochets. It can be any one, and I want you to go in the top of the stitch for the long single crochet, and this is the beginning. And we're gonna start off by making the first corner of your square. You're going to just pull through and chain 4. That counts as a treble. So 1 2 3 and 4. I want you to treble back into that same spot, so wrap twice going into that long single crochet and treble as usual. Now this is the first half of a corner, so chain 2 and do 2 more trebles into that same one, just like this. So this is technically your first corner. So what we have to do is that we're converting this into a square, so we have to take our time. So when we come across, this still is gonna be a flat edge as we get over here, and your next corner is over here somewhere. Okay, so it's like there's 2 and then a corner, and then 2 and then a corner, and then 2 and a corner, and etc. So let's continue. Your first 2 will be double crochets. So 1 and 2 like that. Your next 2 will be half double crochets. So that was 1 and 2. Your next 3 is gonna be single crochets. 1 2 and 3. And now your next one is 1 half double crochet by itself. And I know what you're thinking, okay, that doesn't seem consistent. Remember that you're working halfway across to make this square. So the next 3 in a row, which will be this one, the long single crochet, and this one, will be a 3 together for a double crochet 3 together. So just wrap the hook going into the first one, pull through 2 and hold it, and then go to your next one, wrap, pull through 2 and hold it, and then wrap again and going to your next one, pull through 2 and hold it, and then I want you to pull through all 4 loops like that. So that's how it's filling in the gap so that it doesn't buckle on you when you're done. So if you kind of look at it, see how it goes around, and it's just filled in the gap. So now what we're going to do is the opposite to what we just did to get ourselves to this. So if you look to what you just did, you want to do it in reverse. So to do that in reverse, we're going to then place in a half double crochet in the next one. Okay, so it's like a mirror. The next 3 are gonna be single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now that you're 3 single crochets in, the next 2 are gonna be half double crochets. So 1 and 2, and then finally the remaining then of the 2 are going to be double crochets. So 1 and 2, and that takes you then to the long single crochet, which is then your next corner. So you see that you went into a corner here and then you went across, and now you're creating the next corner. So the corner again is 2 trebles first. So 1 and 2, then chain 2, and then 2 more trebles into the same one. I'm going to take you through one more side just to make sure you get it. So let's begin the next side. You're going to notice that it's not quite square. We're gonna square it off again in the next round, so I made sure that we had a nice way to go. So in your first 2 stitches you're going to place in 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. So first 2 stitches were double crochet. They're not 2 into each one, just to be clear. The next 2 are half double crochet each. So 1 and 2. And then the next 3 are 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then what you want to do is then the next one is a half double crochet. So it's by itself. And the next 3, which is this one, the long single, and the next one are 3 together for double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. It's a 3 together, so there should be 4 loops on your hook. Pull through all of them, and now we're gonna do the same thing that we know but in reverse. So the next one is a half double crochet by itself, and then the next 3 are single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. The next 2 are half double crochets. 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are double crochet, and that takes you to the next corner, which is the long single crochet. So 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles, and then that takes you. So if you want to reverse back to right here, you can follow me again to be able to complete this all the way around. So you'll notice it's not completely square. We're gonna square it off in the next round. So please do that all the way around. So I'm coming up close to the end of the round, and that's it. And we're gonna keep this green going on for another revolution as we continue to square it off. The last 2 stitches should be double crochet, and I'm just keeping counts. Nothing special about that. So once you get that done, just slip stitch to the top of the first chain 4 that you'd begun, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it's kinda got a little bit of bulkiness around the outside here, but we're gonna square it off then in the next round for round number 7. So let's begin. We're in the wrong area when we start this color, so we're going to start this particular one. So we're gonna slip stitch ourselves to the chain 2 corner space. So just slip stitch once and twice, and then we're gonna begin our first corner. So the first corner, so when we go to start, is chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then we're gonna double crochet back into that chain 2 space. So that counts as 2 double crochets so far. Then you're going to chain 2, and then in the same space I want you to put in 2 more double crochets, and that'll complete how to do a corner. So it's always gonna be the same for this round. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So here's our counts for going all the way across, and once you get all the way across you can just reverse this video to go back to the other 3 if you would like to do this, to do that again. So let's begin. So we're gonna double crochet in the first 2. So just 1 and 2. And before I continue, the reason why you're doing this is that you have to fill it. See how it's kind of dipping down? So what you're doing is you're filling it in so that it comes to a nice even line. So you're gonna double crochet 2 in the first, 1 in the first 2. Then you're going to half double crochet in the next 3. So we're making the stitches slightly smaller. Then the next 11 are all single crochets. So let's count those out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So that is your single crochets in, and now you're going to get bigger again. So for the next 3 in a row they're half double crochets. And then the final two will be a double crochet each, and then you back on a corner. And the corners will always be the same. So it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. And I want you to do that again for all the other sides. So do you see how it just kind of flattened everything up? So just like that. So it's pretty close to call perfect, and then you're just gonna do the same for all 3 of your sides. So please do those in the same instructions, just reverse back if you need to follow that sequence. Again, it's 2, 3, 11, 3, and 2. So I'm coming up all the way around. The final 2 stitches are a double crochet, and I'm just keeping count, so there's nothing special about that. So then you're just gonna slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 that you started with, and we're gonna get rid of this color, weave in your ends, and it should be sitting relatively flat. And now we're gonna continue then to round number 8, and it gets easier from this point forward. So round number 8 is a holiday round. It just means that it's pretty easy. So we're just gonna start off with a slip knot on the hook, go right into a chain 2 space on any corner, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to just pull through, and your chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Double crochet again in the same space, and then chain 2 and double crochet 2 more times into the same space, and there is your first corner. So for this round, it's very simple. Each one of the stitches going all the way around is going to get 1 double crochet each. That's it, nice and simple. And then in your corners you're gonna put in 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So please do that all the way around for round number 8, and this is a nice easy round to be able to manage. So I'm coming up all the way back around. Remember that when we started this one, we actually had the first corner completely done. So just make sure when you get to your last stitch, just slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3, get rid of this yarn. So fasten it off, and then we're gonna start then on round number 9. Let's begin round number 9. I'm gonna bring back the same color as I used in the petals that you can see here. So we're just gonna create a slip knot, put it onto the hook, and go into the chain 2 space to begin. Slip stitch to fasten on, chain 1, and I want you to put in 3 single crochets going right up over top of that straggler. So and into that space. So 1, 2, and 3. So here's what we're going to do. We're gonna do the texture on these stitches here. So into the posts that are right below, what I want you to start with is a front post double crochet. So start with that one. So coming around to the front side, out through the side of the post, out through the other, pull through 2 and 2. That's a double crochet. The next one is a back post double crochet. So wrap, come from the back out into the front, pop it back out, and then continue as a double crochet. So the next one is a front post double crochet. So in through the side on the front side, out through the side, and the next one is a back post. So from the back side out and push it back and go like that. I want you to do that all the way across, and I'll meet you at the next corner. So just back post, front post. So the next one's a front post, and then a back post, and continue to do that all the way across. So I'm coming up close to the other side and to the other corner. You should, to be completely transparent, the last one should be a front post double crochet. I made sure that when I did it and I did your counts, I made sure that the first one would be front post double crochet, and I made sure the last one would be, so it'd be even. Now you're gonna move to the next chain 2 space, and you're gonna put 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you begin all over again. So the first one is gonna be a front post double crochet, and then the next one is a back post, and you do that all the way to the next corner, and then in the next corner put in your 3 single crochets into the chain 2 space. So please do that all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So when you get all the way back around, the last one is a front post double crochet, and I'm just keeping a count, so it's nothing special. And then I'm just gonna slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet, and we're gonna get rid of this color. So let's fasten that off, and then let's continue. We have a couple more rounds to go. We are currently just finishing up round number 9, so let's move on to round number 10. So let's begin again. We're going to create another slip knot, and we're going to then start off right in the corner of the single crochet. So just, there's 3 of them, so start right off in the corner, the middle one of the 3, and you're going to slip stitch. And now we're going to begin. We're going to chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet, and then I wanted a half double crochet in the same space or the same stitch. But we're not quite done. We want to chain 2 and half double crochet 2 more times into that same spot. So it's a lot of stuff going on in just one stitch there. It's the very corner. So you're gonna do this every time there's a corner. In this case so it's gonna be 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. So each stitch now going across will be a back post double crochet. So we're just gonna advance to the next one here. Now the next one here is just a single crochet that's there. So that one's gonna be pretty tight. So it's gonna be a back post double crochet in that one. And then the next one is the front post double crochet that you see here, but you're still gonna make it a back post. So it's gonna pull that one in behind. And the other one is already a back post, and so that's gonna stay in behind, and you're still gonna make it a back post. So it's still a back post double crochet in each one. So this is what's gonna pull these purples back and make the neat texture that it does. And so each stitch across is a back post double crochet. So again, to review, when you get to the corner, it's the middle one of the grouping of 3 is gonna be 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets, and then you back post double crochet the remaining then all the way to the next corner. So please do that, and I'll see it at the end of this round. As I come to the corner, I just want to recap, making sure that you understand the corner for this one. I explained it, but sometimes it's better just to show you. So you're just back post double crocheting every stitch until you get to the corner. And the corner is the third one of there. So the next one is the front post or back post of the first single crochet that's there. And now the next one is the middle. So it's gonna be 2 halves. So 1 and 2, chain 2, and 2 halves. Okay, and so then the single crochet is the first one out. So that's gonna be a back post double crochet. That's the one that's kind of tight. And then you just continue to go across, back post double crocheting everything that's in your path until the next corner, and do that again all the way around. So I just want to recap that to make sure that you got it right. So I'm coming up all the way around, and I'm just going into the last back posting in the last single crochet that was there, and that takes me back to the very beginning. So we're gonna then begin round number 11, which is your final round, easy round again. So just slip stitch to the next one and to the next chain 2 space to get yourself there even. This one's really easy round, so we're gonna chain up 3 counts as a double crochet, and you're gonna double crochet again one more time. Chain 2 and 2 double crochets again. So there you got your corner. Round so simple it's not even funny. Each stitch across is a double crochet. Your corners are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and you'll do that all the way around, and that concludes off your blanket today. Don't forget that in your very first one here, half double crochet, see how I just pulled it aside without saying anything? Just make sure that you get into each one of the stitches all the way around, so you have an even consistent number, especially if you're attaching it to a neighbor. So just double crochet across, and then again in the corners 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and that will complete off today's square. So I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm now coming to the conclusion, and I've just double crocheted myself around. I did my corners the way I should have, and I'm coming into the very last stitch, and that concludes off this square. So this was a fun Sunday afternoon way back in spring of 2018 when I did this, and now it's almost June, and I'm finally getting this pattern done on video format, and it was actually a lot of fun. So because this is the very last one, I would take my darning needle and give it a good finish off. So let's just do that. So back and forth 3 times is the magic number in order to get your tails to be completely hidden out of sight, out of mind. So just going back across from the direction, do not impede on the outside. So if you're going to put this together with your other squares, what I would recommend is that you could actually do a single crochet together, the single crochet join, and the reason for it is that because I created the lip for you using the purple, when I turn it back around I'll show you, you can actually get away with that because it looks like it belongs. So it's not like you have suddenly a flat square and then suddenly you're adding a lip to it. So because this is raised, you can actually take its neighbor, butt it up, and then single crochet it, probably using the purple too, just to give it alignment or whatever colors you've chosen to use. And this is a really neat idea, and you can see it's just like the first one. Now because I used Karen 1 pound, this one here is a bit bigger well, a lot bigger, and it's actually really quite an amazing one. Now the purple here that I did, remember what I said, it's not part of it, it was just because I fleeced the back of it, but you can see changing the hook and the yarn changes the look and the feel of any of these projects. So if you're interested in this, enjoy, and I hope to see your creativity available online soon. So we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.